Thank you for joining me for Storytime with Tanya for another story called Shadows of a Fugitive. Part 1. The Hunter and the Ghost. The air in Windhoek had been dry and unforgiving when Cooper Black first heard Johnson Bush's name. A first-time bank robber, no affiliations, no priors, and no clear escape plan. He walked into the Republic Bank in Johannesburg, disarmed a guard with nothing but confidence and precision, and walked out with nearly 2 million rand. No shots fired, no one hurt. It was clean, too clean, but amateurs always left a trail. Cooper had tracked him through burned identities, cash drops, and second-hand vehicles. Every time he arrived, Johnson had already vanished, as if guided by a guardian angel or sheer dumb luck. Durban was a dead end. Port Elizabeth offered a whisper. Then Cape Town, colder, more cautious. Here, the trail went dark. Cooper wasn't the type to be frustrated. He was methodical, patient, but his case gnawed at something deeper. Johnson wasn't a killer, not yet, which meant he still believed he could fix things, and that belief made people desperate. Then came Shay. She called from a local line, told him to meet her at a church on Main Road, in the southern suburbs. Cooper arrived expecting a trap. What he found was a woman standing beside 3 children and a shopping bag full of groceries. She looked tired, but proud, like someone who didn't ask for favors, let alone from bounty hunters. "I'm not trying to save him," she said as they sat on a cracked wooden pew. "I just need to make sure my kids don't suffer for my brother's mistakes." "You could have stayed quiet," Cooper replied. "I couldn't sleep knowing he might come here. I'd rather deal with you than a shootout at my doorstep." He admired her honesty. It was a rare commodity. "Do you know where he is?" he asked. "No, but if he comes back to anyone, it'll be me." Cooper should have moved on, followed Johnson's last lead through the docks and out to Angola. But something about Shay's gaze, steady and unflinching, stayed with him. He rented a flat a block away and started watching, waiting. Part 2. A Heart Begins to Beat. Cape Town's winter was subtle but present, a chill that settled into the bones at night. Cooper blended into the neighborhood like smoke, his days filled with surveillance and silence. But the longer he stayed, the more his purpose blurred. He watched Shay hustle between shifts at a bakery and a late-night cleaning job. She cooked dinners that stretched more than they should have. She fixed a broken fence with borrowed tools. She yelled at her children with love in her voice. Cooper saw strength in her, a quiet, resilient sort. Not the kind that roared, but the kind that survived. He started walking her youngest Sam to school. The boy reminded him of another life, a fractured memory of family long buried. Shay noticed but didn't stop him. She simply said, "If you're going to hang around, you might as well be useful." That night they had tea on her porch. She wore a threadbare sweater and looked across the neighborhood like she owned it. "I used to think I could fix everything," she said. "Then life reminded me otherwise." "What changed?" "My husband died. Cancer. Left me with 3 kids and a roof that leaked every June. Cooper didn't respond. He never shared his own past. The few who knew it were either dead or hunting ghosts like he was. But Shay didn't pry. Days turned to weeks. The lead at the docks had gone cold, but Cooper remained. He told himself it was a strategy, that Johnson would come to her, and he had to be ready. But deep down, the truth cut sharper. He did not want to leave. Then came the kiss. It happened quietly, unexpectedly, after Sam's school play. Shay had laughed, actually laughed, when Cooper struggled with the camera. On the walk back, she looked at him, eyes searching. "Why are you really here, Cooper?" "I'm here to catch your brother." "Is that the only reason?" Silence. She leaned in and kissed him, brief, soft, uncertain. A brush of warmth against the frost of his soul. When he pulled back, she almost looked ashamed. "I shouldn't have done that," she whispered. But Cooper didn't stop her. In that moment, something shifted. He knew he couldn't bring Johnson in the way he had with others. Not now. Not with Shay watching. Part 3. Choices in the Dark. Johnson came home 2 nights later. He snuck in through the back door just after midnight. Shay was in the kitchen making tea. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She simply said, "Cooper's here." Johnson froze. Thin, tired eyes hollow. The money hadn't made him rich, just hunted. "Do you trust him?" Johnson asked. "No," Shay said, "but I trust that he wants something more than revenge." Cooper stepped out of the shadows, gun drawn but low. Johnson's hand twitched toward his bag. "Don't," Cooper warned. "I'm not going back," Johnson said. "They'll bury me." "You're not a killer." "Not yet. You still have choices." Shay stood between them. "Enough. This ends tonight. No blood, no gunfire." Cooper's instincts fought against him. Years of muscle memory screamed for resolution. Arrest the target, collect the bounty, move on. But Shay's presence anchored him. Her kids, asleep upstairs, deserved better. So he offered him a deal. The money would be returned. Cooper would speak on Johnson's behalf. Full cooperation, surrender now, and Cooper would make sure he got a shot at a reduced sentence. "You trust me to keep that promise?" Cooper asked. "I trust her," Johnson said, nodding toward his sister. They shook hands, not in camaraderie, but in mutual exhaustion. At dawn, the authorities took Johnson into custody without incident. No cuffs in front of the kids. No sirens. Just a man walking away from a family he never meant to endanger. Epilogue. Echoes and Embers. Cooper stayed one more night. He sat on Shay's porch, cigarette unlit, staring into the early morning fog. She joined him with 2 mugs of coffee. Neither spoke of what came next. "You could have brought him in the hard way," she said. "I would have before I met you." I don't know what that means." "It means I didn't think people like you existed." She didn't reply. She didn't have to. The next morning, Cooper was gone. No note, no farewell. But a week later, Shay received an envelope, unmarked, sealed. Inside was a list of legal contacts, prepaid services, and a sizable donation funneled anonymously into her children's school fund. At the bottom was a card unsigned with only 4 words: "For them, not me." Shay never tried to find him, but she kept the card tucked into her wallet, creased at the corners. Somewhere out there, Cooper Black returned to the shadows, a cold-hearted hunter who found, in the heat of pursuit, the one thing he never expected to chase: hope. Thank you for joining me for Storytime with Tanya.